Hey, what is up guys? So today I wanted to make a video on cheating in Overwatch because it's kind of becoming a problem now that everyone is, settling in their ranks, their masters, diamond. It's more evident in the higher rank sections of the game, but you'll definitely still see it in the lower rank section of the game when people are doing the placements, because a lot of these hackers that get banned, they remake accounts and they climb again, of course, by hacking. You guys will see this gameplay over here where you guys can see the guy's locking on dead center, and it's not just from this clip over here that you guys can see that he is hacking. I'll even show you guys this guy's rank and stuff. And before the game even started, people knew that this guy was hacking. And one of the guys that we were playing with was another streamer named Curryshot, and he's known as another streamer that's relatively popular. So sometimes what will happen is when someone notices that someone is a cheater before the game starts, is they'll draw out the match, meaning that they're going to go ahead and make the game a tie so no one really loses rank, and it just kind of makes the cheater look like a scumbag and everyone calls him out. But nonetheless, this game continued. We actually ended up winning against this guy that was in Grandmasters, and of course he got there by cheating, because we'll go ahead and check out his previous rank real quick. But my goal isn't just to expose this guy, but I want to also talk about what to actually do to counter some of these hackers. But first off, let me show you guys this guy's stats, and you guys can see, he was previously at 4,300 in like the very beginning of the game, and then he got up to 4,087, which is Grandmasters, in the next season. So it's very, very hard to believe someone went from what would be like gold, like a 40-ish would be about gold, going into Grandmasters. That's a huge leap. And that's very evident by his skill. There's a few times where he swaps. He ends up swapping to McCree, and like his movement as McCree was so bad because he only played certain heroes. And sometimes these hackers, they only play hit scan, and when you force them to swap to other things, and sometimes people are nice, what they'll do is they'll take Tracer, they'll take McCree and Soldier, so then the hacker is forced to be in this bad situation. Although sometimes people want to use that advantage of having the hacker on their team, so they're like, oh, I'll give you Soldier. I mean, it is in one sense really not their fault that they have a hacker on their team. They don't want to lose, but at the same time, it's sometimes seen as a scumbag thing to do, to give the hacker a hero that is hit scan. But anyways, let's first off go over what hacks are available in Overwatch. There's people that have like wall hacks, map hack, whatever, same thing. And then there's also people that have aimbot. And there's also this newer aimbot that makes it so it's not very obvious. Like, it basically has a little bit of a sticky aim, so it's a little bit of an aim assist rather than a full-on aim hack. Now, Curryshot, before the game even started, he was like, this guy's a hacker. So he already knew before the game started he was a hacker. And I watch a lot of competitive Overwatch, and there's sometimes where I'll be watching Seagull and they'll be like, this guy's a hacker. And they will just sit on the payload and no one will move it, and they'll just basically sit there and taunt and do little emotes for the entirety of the game because they don't want the hacker winning. And that really sucks, because like I wanted to watch these competitive games. It doesn't happen like every single game, especially if you're low ranked. You won't have to worry about this, but once you get into the high ranks, you'll see it a lot more often. But anyways, even for your lower ranked players, this is good advice for you guys. Because again, once these hackers get banned, they're going to climb their way back up by, of course, hacking once again. But there was something that actually passed recently in China where it's actually illegal to make in-game like terms of service violation programs. So basically, you can be sent to jail for actually hacking in games or making the program to hack. I'll link an article if I remember where I found it, but there was an article about this. I'm like, hopefully this will stop people from hacking. But anyways, I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed there's a lot of foreign players that play on the North America servers, and that's all due to cheating. You'll see a lot of Korean players on the NA servers because there's just too much cheating that goes on some of the Asia servers, which really sucks for them because they're going to have to play with extra ping. They're not going to be able to communicate with you, but they don't have a good experience by playing over on their servers. Now, I was really glad that we were able to win, and you'll see against this McCree once it gets to the gameplay. But again, my whole goal isn't just to show off the gameplay. My goal is to help you guys better battle against hackers. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this because there's going to be a time where it's just like sitting in there waiting for like the next round to start. But anyways, so the characters that people pick when they're hacking are going to be hit scanned, so it's going to be McCree, Soldier, and Tracer. Those are usually the aimbotters. There are people that do wall hacks that will play anything, because at that point, wall hack is an advantage for any hero. But think of like Widowmaker's ultimate active at all times. But those are the general heroes that people will be picking when they're hacking. But if you notice that there is a hacker, I recommend you to stay away from certain heroes. Heroes like Mercy, Zenyatta, or Pharah. those are characters that I would recommend to stay away from. The reason why you want to stay away from Mercy is because they're just going to dive you really hard. And I know Mercy has the ability to get away, but they're going to kill you so fast that it usually doesn't matter. But the thing is that Mercy alone, which is something that happens against a lot of hackers, they'll dive super, super hard on these Mercies. Unless, of course, you have a Pharah, but at that point, Pharah's not so good against hackers because they're just going to target her because they're running hit scan in the first place. But Zenyatta doesn't have a real escape. Like, he can't, like, speed boost out. He can't put things to sleep. So a character like Zenyatta, I would say to stay away from as well. But you could definitely still do stuff against them. Like, you can Discord them because Discord doesn't require any aim anyways, and you guys can kind of pick them out. But I think that the main heroes that you want to use against hackers are going to be things like Roadhog or D.Va. Or if you're really, really good as Widowmaker, you can definitely shoot them as Widowmaker, and you can win simply because, you know, Widowmaker can one-shot someone. So the hacker, even though they can headshot you, they're not going to be able to do it fast enough. And I think that a lot of hackers... they're not very good at the game. Like I mentioned before, like when the guy ended up swapping to McCree at some point, he was very bad. Like his positioning was just terrible for like the ults, and like you could see their skill. So I want to say don't get too discouraged when you get matched up against a hacker if they're going to be playing out the game, because sometimes people will just play the game, and again, sometimes they'll actually draw out the game, which I think is a good thing to do, where you just say, hey, you know, this guy's a hacker, can we draw out the game, and everyone just doesn't cap the point, or, you know, they'll do something like that where they just let you destroy the guy that's hacking over and over. But yeah, the guy going from, again, like gold to Grandmaster, that's a huge leap. And on top of that, before the game started, people knew that he was hacking, so it was really evident from the gameplay. I only died to him at that one time, so I couldn't really tell from the entirety of the gameplay that he was turning on his aimbot. Some people, like, they also can turn off their aimbot, so like they'll aimbot for a little bit and you call them out on it, and then like they'll be like, nah, or like what they'll do is they'll shoot, so their accuracy is technically still low. Like I saw McCree at one point with 70% accuracy, and I'm like, that's insane. Like I think 50% accuracy with McCree is already really strong. But nonetheless, yeah, that's some of the ways that you guys can counter them hackers, is to just play those certain heroes that, like I mentioned before, which are Roadhog as well as D.Va. Like, I'm not a very good D.Va player, but the thing is I'm able to deal with the McCree. And this is actually like a really good example of the gameplay over here. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward just a little bit so you guys can see how like bad this McCree was. There's so many times where he would try to set up, but like he wouldn't even move while he was shooting because he didn't know how to move at all, because he's just used to being able to perhaps use Soldier and just like hold down left click the entire time and just be successful with that, or doing the same thing with Tracer. But the thing was we were countering him with Roadhog, and when they would go in, I would try to go back and try to just defense matrix so he was useless and he would just die, because a hacker is going to be playing very aggressive, because that's how usually they are going to be playing, because they're like, I got hacks on, I don't need to worry about anything. But generally they're just not good players. And like I said, I think there's going to be a clip over here where you'll see the McCree, and it just shows you his like skill is just, it's not Grandmaster at all. Like the guy is definitely, he's deserving of like a gold, because again, like that's what he was. But you can still combat these guys, and obviously with the hacks on, he's going to be Grandmaster. Like it's really hard to counter some people that hack. And again, just don't get too discouraged when going into a game and you know that they're hacking, because you can still definitely win. I've won against a lot of hackers, and there are a lot of times where there's people that will be like, this guy's hacking, I'm going to throw the game so you guys win, which I think is awesome. Like, you know, it kind of sucks for the other people though, because the other people didn't deserve to lose that rank because of the hacker. But at the same time, people, they hate hackers and they want the hacker to lose their rank rather than just drawing it out. And some people, what they'll also do, here's another quick little tip for you guys. If you get matched up against a hacker, and let's say the game ends, you win, you lose, doesn't really matter. Wait a couple minutes before queuing up, like maybe go play like a quick 1v1 or something, but wait a second and queue up a little bit later. That way you have less of a chance to match up against them, because of course they're just going to queue up. They're not going to be waiting for a minute before queuing up. They want to get their rank as high and as fast as possible, so they can get, you know, high ranked, then get banned. One thing I wish Blizzard did though, for those of you guys that don't know, they don't ban immediately. They do this thing kind of in waves. Over there, you guys can see the McCree actually had decent movement. Like, he just backed off of me, and he was going to go behind us. So I was trying to get ready to set up to, of course, block him. So the whole idea is just to make it so he can't play. And you can see the Soldier over here. He was hiding, but the McCree was just, like, right there. So he probably had the wall hack, because we weren't even at that position. You guys can see that I was at, like, our stairs. I was originally at their like front stairs, and McCree fanned the hammer, stunned, rolled away, whatever. And you guys can see that over there it's not so bad where he's stunning, but I wanted to protect my team. But generally, like, the whole idea is just to stick on that that person hacking. You can also technically use a Reinhardt to an extent against the hacker, but I feel like most of you guys understand Reinhardt is pretty decent already. He already has a decent pick rate. D.Va's really popular right now, and D.Va just really helps because she's very mobile. But the problem with like hero like Winston, like, even though you could argue Winston's very mobile, you can jump on the hacker. A lot of times the hacker will actually be able to outspace you as if you play Winston, because Winston doesn't have that much HP and he can't really block the shots. I know he could throw down the shield, but again, if you get stunned, then he's just going to go ahead and actually be able to destroy you. But you guys can see that he's trying to set up, and there's so many times where I'm able to go in on the hacker and just defense matrix up, and then make my team able to clear it up. And, I mean, you can still argue that I'm not there in the fight as a tank, which is kind of the role of the tank in the first place, but you can see I'm just trying to stick on the McCree as much as possible. But he's just jumping back and forth. This is actually decent movement. Like I said, there was like one part where it just made him look super, super bad, where he was just sitting there trying to shoot, and I was just shooting him, and he just had like terrible reaction time. And anyways, I feel like I'm ranting on. Everything that I wanted to say was pretty much covered in it, but nonetheless, we ended up winning the round, and we ended up winning the game set. So that was really awesome. But yeah, those are some tips for you guys to combat people that are hacking, and even if they're Grandmasters, man, they can still be very bad at the game. So try to take those heroes away from them also. Like, if you notice that there's a hacker on your team, okay, I think here it is. You see this McCree's, like, his reaction time was very slow, even though he was able to roll them and then he flashbanged me. He still had really slow reaction time. That was not Grandmaster's reaction time. Like, I don't have like the greatest reactions when I'm playing McCree. Sometimes when I'm trying to aim because I'm trying to focus in, but like the guy was aimbotting, and he still like didn't have that reaction time. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, you guys. Hopefully this will help you guys combat some of the hackers in the game. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.